Hello, Facebook. What's going on? Hello. I'm going to give this just like literally a couple seconds to see if folks come on in. I want to make sure I'm going to go look on my laptop to make sure I'm connecting here. And I am. So hi. What's up? How are you? It's Think About It Thursday. Thought I'd come on here and inform you of some stuff that's on my mind. So hello. How are you? Say hi. Let me know that you're here. If you want to share this, whether you're watching the replay or the live, that's awesome. If you're watching the replay, type hashtag replay for me so I know you're a replay watcher. And I'm going to jump in. I hope that you can see me and hear me. I was hoping to get a couple comments. There we go. Trina said hi, so I know it's working. Perfect. Hi. All right. So if you don't know me, what's up? My name is Heidi Bound, and you happen to come across my video here on my personal page. I come on my personal page. I try to come on as often as I can on a Thursday at least to do a little something I call Think About It Thursday. So every Thursday, it's like perfect timing. Every Thursday, my team has book club, and during book club, we talk about a book. There's assignments that we give and chapters that we like assign to read, and then we come to book club and we talk about book club. But we mostly talk about, and I'm going to swipe the comments away now because I can read comments after. I don't want to lose my thoughts here. But we talk about life, a lot of life stuff. And so the book we're reading right now is the Steve Harvey book, Act Like a Success, Think Like a Success. And I want to talk a little bit about, it's a great book, great for life, great for business, just great in general. But chapter 3 is a chapter we talked a lot about today in my book club. And it's called Take the Lid Off the Jar. And the whole essence of that is this. In life, people have dreams, right? Like, what are your dreams? Put your dreams. If you have a dream in life, like I want to be whatever it is, drop it in the comments, right? Meaning, like Steve Harvey wanted to be on TV. For me, I wanted to be a teacher, right? I wanted to teach people. And so what is it that you want to be? What's your dream, right? A lot of us go to jobs and those kind of like define us, right? Like a lot of times that job or that title or that description kind of defines where we are and who we are. But what is your dream? If you could do anything, be anything, what would it be? And so this whole idea of taking the lid off the jar is this. In my book club, there was a lot of conversation around, like what, so here's our jar, right? We've got all these dreams inside and there's this lid on top, right? So if you think of it kind of like a visual, there's this lid on top and you're kind of like, all that stuff is like locked inside. And those dreams can only like pop around enough, but they can never come out. They can never fully like explode and impact the world because that lid is on top. And initially, when we first started talking about this, we were talking about how that lid oftentimes can be something that's sort of imposed on us from the outside, maybe by people, right? So we were talking a lot about people. And so, you know, have you ever had like that teacher growing up who you had this really like big dream, this big idea of what you want to do with your life, and maybe you had that teacher that was like, no, that is impractical, that does not even make sense. Like in Steve Harvey's example, he said he wanted to be on TV, and there was a teacher that was like, no, do you know anybody on TV? Do you see anybody in your family on TV? Like, that is an impossible dream. Like, come up with something else, right? So it could be a teacher, it could be a family member, it could be just a casual stranger or acquaintance that basically says whatever that dream isn't realistic. You need to change it, right? That's never going to work, right? Think about that. We also then got into some conversation around sometimes those dreams could be, that lid could be limitations because of maybe where you grew up, right? Or even the time that you grew up in. Okay, let's sort of look at this, right? Depending on where you grew up, you may not have known about other possibilities, right? So, and I think that can kind of go hand in hand too with the like, let's say when you grew up. So that lid could be, well, I didn't know, let's just say, I didn't know fashion designing was even an option because I didn't know that existed, right? Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. I didn't know that being like an IT specialist, because when I was growing up, we didn't have computers, right? I know. We didn't have computers. We didn't have smartphones. So that kind of job of, or dream of doing something like in the technology or the computer world, it didn't exist yet. So therefore, you see folks, and myself included, like I was in a role. I was a teacher for 23 years. So as time went on and as I had new experiences in life, I realized that there were other things out there and other possibilities, right? So that lid on our jar could be like kind of external noise in our ear. Oftentimes it's our own insecurities, things that we're like, well, I could never do that. And it's in our own brain. But what I want you to really think about today on this Thursday is, what are those external things when you grew up, where you grew up, maybe someone in your ear, especially, right? Isn't it super powerful when the person that's in your ear is somebody that is super significant to you? Like, I grew up, the sky was the limit, right? The sky was the limit. We were encouraged as kids to like try all different kinds of things, including like I was on a basketball team and I never should have been there. But we were encouraged to try different things. We were encouraged when we grew up, as we were growing up, to figure out who we were and what we liked by being given opportunities to try different kinds of things, right? Whether it was playing flute in the band or being on the basketball team or, in high school, like go take the art classes, that we were encouraged to have those experiences in life. But that's not the case for everybody. Okay. When I grew up and where I grew up, as far as like, what did you go to college for? There were limitations, and it was no fault of anybody's. It just simply was what it was, right? So back at that time, graduating high school in 1991, you went to college to be, a pretty specific list of things, because the world back then wasn't what it is now, right? So back then you went to school to be, a teacher, a nurse, a lawyer, a doctor, if you wanted to, push your education further, an accountant, like you were in communications, like there were very specific, but in my opinion, in hindsight, limited opportunities, because basically the biggest reason was we didn't have this fast-paced world of technology that we have now that gives a wealth of different options to people. So with all of that, what I want you to think about today is, what is that lid? What is that lid that's on the jar? What is that lid? What is that's holding you back personally from doing exactly what it is that you're dreaming of doing? What is that thing, right? And I think my challenge to you is to sort of identify what that lid, and we're using that sort of like, in a visual sense, what is that lid that holds you back? And I'll just, say, as far as like paparazzi, there are people that have thought about joining paparazzi, thought about joining my team. And that could be you. You might be thinking about joining paparazzi, but there's that thing, that lid, that on the jar that is holding you back from trying something that could actually give you the opportunity to potentially reach a dream that you have. And you have to ask yourself, is it worth giving that thing that much power? I hear people all the time, and I'm going to bring this to paparazzi, of course, because it would be silly of me not to, but you could use this, I'll use paparazzi. You can equate this to paparazzi or something else. But I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning with regrets of not trying something because I potentially had somebody in my ear about it. Because here's the deal, that's my dream, not theirs. Right? And I hear people sometimes, they're like, oh, I'm thinking about joining paparazzi, but my sister said this or my husband said that. Well, truth of the matter is, it's your dream, not theirs. Right? That's how I see it. And so I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning wishing that I had tried something and I never did it because somebody else didn't quite understand my dreams. And here's something else I want you to think about. And Steve Harvey talks about this in the book. So I'm going to kind of rattle these off a little bit from what's written here. He says, here are some ways you can tell if the lid is still on your life. Is that lid, your life is that jar, boom, ready to burst out. The lid is on and it's holding that in. You're being locked in there. How do you know? I'm going to give you some questions. You can yes or no me. You can, write it in the comments if you want. You could just nod your head. You can give me hearts. You will know if that lid is still on your life, locking you in, if you're not excited about waking up in the morning. I wake up in the morning and now do I jump out of my bed? That would be a big old lie if I said I jumped out of my bed, because I am not a morning person, okay? I'm a very late night owl. It's just in my blood. But when I do wake up, my eyes open and I say, okay, what do I need to get done today? Because there's people counting on me. There is a drive for me to start my day. Let me go get my coffee. Let me get my shower because I've got things to do, right? Are you sitting around bored out of your mind? When I grew up, we were not allowed to say I'm bored. My mom would be like, really, you're bored? Go get a book. Like, bored was not allowed. That was not a word we were allowed to say growing up as kids. So that idea of being bored is not something that I think that I even know what that feels like, because I was always encouraged to like fill those voids. Yes, we can relax, right? But go take a nap doesn't mean you're bored. It just means you need a nap. So do you feel bored? Do you? If you have time to do everything that anyone asks you to do. So if somebody asks you to do something, you're like, yep, I got time. See, if somebody asks me to do something, I want to make time. But I've got a calendar, I've got to check, I've got a schedule, I got to check, I got to see where I could fit it in so that I could give of myself to that thing that you need from me, okay? I don't have days where it is completely free ever, not ever, okay? Do I think you can go into overload and have your calendar be so packed that you don't have time to breathe? 1,000,000%. But I can tell you that if somebody says to me, are you available on Sunday? I'm going to have to go look. I'm going to have to go look to see the blocks of time that I could commit to that person or whatever it is that is going on, right? You're going to know that you are not living to your fullest capacity, folks, if you have time to watch all of your scheduled TV programs every week and not miss a single episode. If you are able to catch every single show Monday through Friday that you like to watch, I have to ask yourself, are you living your life to your fullest potential? People talk to me all the time. They're like, what, about different TV shows. And I'm like, I'll catch a Netflix series every once in a while. But the truth be told, I'm not changing lives and I'm not inspiring people from the couch watching television. I'm not. Okay. And it's no judgment from me. I'm just giving you these like sort of hypothetical, rhetorical things for you to think about, because that's what this is about, right? Think about it. Now, the next one is, are you getting plenty of sleep? This one I kind of agree to disagree. Okay. Why? Because I believe to be my best self, I need to have an adequate amount of sleep. Now, if I'm sleeping my day away, if I'm sleeping 12 hours a day, we got a different thing going. But your girl here is much more productive if I get an adequate 7 hours. Okay? I'm much better through the other hours, the other, 17 hours that I'm awake, when I get a good solid 7. So plenty of sleep, I think, is sort of subjective, and you kind of have to think about that. The other thing you need to think about, the lid is still on your life. You are locked in. You are not living to your fullest potential, your dreams. If your dreams make sense to everyone around you. See, when I said I was going to leave a 23-year teaching career to sell $5 jewelry, I had my biggest supporters, like my mom and my family, they said, go for it. Whatever you want, we know you're going to make it happen. But there were people who were like, excuse me, you're doing what? You're doing what? Now I think some of those people are the same people that wish they were doing that, but it's okay. But there were people that were like, this does not make sense to me. Your dreams should not make sense to everyone. They shouldn't. And even if they make sense to the people that surround you in your tightest, most supportive circle, they might not make sense. But because those people love you and want what's best for you, I feel they should be cheering for you the loudest. I may not understand every single thing that my sisters do. Okay. But if it's for the best for them, I'm going to be the first one right there cheering for them. Right? Because I'm going to trust and believe that they know what's best for them. Okay. It may not be big enough. The lid may be on if you can achieve the dreams by yourself. I cannot do everything I do alone. No way. Absolutely not. I am the first person to admit it. I need Marty. I need my family. I need my besties. I need my company. I need my paparazzi brothers and sisters. I cannot do what I do alone. I need Gotham City Bling, my community, and my goodness, I need my team. I cannot do it alone. It's that big. It's that impactful. It is that powerful that I need other people. Hands down. If you recognized any of these behaviors in yourself, or you said yes to anything on the list, you have got to take the lid off of your life and start living your dream. So if any of those things you were like, yep, that's me, I can watch every show, yep, I sit around and I'm bored, then you have to ask yourself, are you living your life to your fullest potential? Whether that is paparazzi or something else. And if you're looking for something to fill the void, help you live your dream, have friends, whatever it might be, I got an opportunity for you. Okay? I do. And I'd love to have you on my team. I would love to have you as part of the Gotham gang. As a matter of fact, this month Paparazzi has another starter kit promotion. I'll put all that information in the description of this video. But what I want you to think about, whatever that path is for you, whether it's paparazzi or something else, think about this. Are you living your best life? Are you living your dreams? Or are you letting that lid of that jar, whatever that lid might be, are you allowing it to hold you back? Think about it. Think about it. And with that, I'm going to leave you. I'll be reading your comments. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Please feel free to share this with anybody that you think would love it, or share it to your personal page. I would love that too. And enjoy the rest of your week. Love to you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.